I almost didn't watch this anime, and honestly, that might have been one of the biggest mistakes of my life. Okay, so let me give you some context first. I was on my anime list, just going through seasons, looking for something to watch. You know how it is. You're scrolling, reading titles, checking scores, and I came across Odd Taxi. The score is really high, like suspiciously high for an anime I'd never heard anyone talk about. But I look at it and I'm just like, nah. The art style looks simple, characters are animals, and from the thumbnail, it just gave me this kids show energy. So I added it to my list and completely forgot about it. That was maybe 6 months to a year after it came out, and it just sat there on the list, doing nothing. Fast forward to like 1 or 2 weeks ago. I think I was just in this phase where I wanted something chill, no doom scrolling, just put on something and watch. And for some reason, Odd Taxi was the one I clicked on. And within the first episode, I already felt something was different. By the time I finished the whole thing, I was just sitting there, a little bit speechless, honestly. So today I want to talk about why Odd Taxi is so much better than it looks, and I mean that in the best possible way. The show is about a walrus taxi driver named Odakawa. 41 years old, lives alone, no family, barely any friends, and is kind of a blunt and awkward with people. Every episode he picks up passengers and they just talk about their lives, their problems, their situations. And through those conversations he slowly gets pulled into a mystery about a missing girl, with the police on one side and the Yakuza on the other. That's it, that's the whole premise. And I know that sounds incredibly simple, but what makes Odd Taxi actually work is the writing, and more specifically, how everything is relatable. Every single character in this show has a flaw, and not like a dramatic anime flaw, a real, human, embarrassing flaw. Kabasawa is obsessed with going viral and is kind of pathetic about it, but you've met that person. Kakihana is lonely and bad at reading people and keeps making terrible decisions because of it, but you felt like that. Tanaka spent all his money on a gacha game trying to get one rare character and completely lost his mind when he almost had it. And that episode might be the funniest and most tragic thing I've seen in anime in a long time. Because you knew someone like that, or maybe you've been a little like that. That's what the show does. It takes these small, modern, real problems, social media addiction, loneliness, debt, the adult industry, gambling, and wraps them inside a crime mystery without ever making it feel forced. Everything connects. Every conversation that seemed random in episode 1 ends up mattering in episode 13. And when you realize that, when the pieces start clicking, it feels so good. And then there's the twist, the visual agnosia. The reason all the characters look like animals is because Odakawa has a condition that makes him see people that way. And when that hits you, when you go back and realize the whole show was telling you this from the very start, it just reframes everything. The drowning nightmare in episode 1, the closet, all of it was right there. The ending is haunting in a quiet way. The real killer gets away with everything. She gets into Odakawa's taxi and he asks where to. The same line that opened the whole show. And it just ends. No justice, no dramatic moment. Life just continuing. A little darker than before. And I think that's exactly the right call. Because that's how it actually works sometimes. I sat there after the last episode just thinking about how close I was to never watching this. Because of the art style, because it looked simple, because I assumed. And it's kind of funny because the show literally has a character who goes viral chasing clout and misses what's actually in front of him. And there I was, doing the same with the anime itself. Sometimes the anime with the old art style, or the weird premise, or the story that doesn't sound like your thing, that's the one that gets you. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you next time.